Listen, I'm sure everyone is so over hearing about, oh, AI stuff. Something really pisses me off. One, it's when something is so obviously AI and people can't see it, not to victim blame. And two is when a brand puts something out there that is so obviously AI and thinks it's like fine. It's like, oh yeah, this will sell products. It annoys me. However, let me tell you about a scam that's going on to sell possibly one of the worst foundations in existence, right? So I came across this page while being on Instagram, and it's Leah's Makeup 7. No, TikTok, sorry. And I found one of the videos interesting because I wasn't really paying attention. I was just flicking through, and she was talking about foundations within Sephora, Ulta, places like that that aren't great for mature skin and sometimes even mature black skin, which perked my ears up, and I was like, oh, let me listen. Because we like to educate ourselves, right, on makeup. So just watch this with me. This is one of the videos. It says on screen, exposing popular foundations that look terrible on mature skin. She's outside Sephora, all looks fine. Please watch.
Most popular foundations look terrible on black skin over 35, and they emphasize texture, don't cover uneven tone, and settle into line. I'll show you what to skip and what actually delivers. I'm a makeup artist, and my job is to make mature black skin look flawless. I've tested every one of these foundations on my clients. It Cosmetics CC Plus Cream. The deep shade range is extremely limited, and there's no real undertone variation in the darker shade. The formula is thick and sits on top of the skin rather than blending in naturally. It doesn't actually cover hyperpigmentation or texture. It just sits there, and it tends to look flat and gray on deeper skin tone. Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This one looks flawless when you first apply it, but it doesn't wear well on deeper skin. The formula is heavy, and as the day goes on, it starts to oxidize and can turn orange. It also emphasizes texture and sits on top of the skin instead of blending in. By midday, it looks obvious and makeup heavy rather than natural. Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. This one is tricky because it really depends on your skin type and what you're looking for. The formula is very lightweight, which some people love, but the coverage is sheer to light. If you have hyperpigmentation or uneven tone, this won't cover it without multiple layers. It does blend nicely and doesn't oxidize, but you need to be okay with minimal coverage. Works for some, but not everyone. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter. The shade range goes truly meat with accurate undertones that actually match. The formula blends seamlessly and looks like real skin, not makeup. However, if you have dry skin, this matte formula can emphasize dry patches. It works beautifully on oily to combination skin, but drier skin types might need extra prep. Estee Lauder Double Wear. This foundation has a solid shade range for deeper skin with good undertone options. The coverage is full and it truly lasts all day without breaking down or oxidizing. It handles hyperpigmentation really well and doesn't budge through heat or humidity. The formula is buildable without getting cakey. It does have a more matte finish, so if you want something ultra dewy, this isn't it, but for long-lasting, reliable coverage, this delivers. Luxe Foundation. This is where everything comes together. The coverage is medium to full and builds beautifully without ever looking heavy or cakey. It covers hyperpigmentation and uneven tone effortlessly while still looking like natural, healthy skin. The formula blends in seamlessly instead of sitting on top, and the finish is that perfect balance. Luminous but not greasy, smooth but not flat. It doesn't oxidize, doesn't gray out, and wears flawlessly all day. And if it's sold out where you are, you can always find it on Amazon. Which one from the buy pile are you trying first, or are you sticking with what you have? Comment below and let me know what products you want me to review next.
So that was AI, right? There's a few things you can figure out why this is AI. Always look at the mouth. There's always something strange with the teeth. It's almost like there's an invisible line in the mouth for some reason. But it's very, very, to me, this is obviously AI. Now, it does quite a good job because the Sephora in the background looks so real. You know, there's reflections of people walking past in the background. Her arm and her hand look real here. But there are telltale signs. One of them is the audio. Even with controlled audio, you can hear some background fuzz, right? There's some background noise. Even when you de-noise, which is a thing on editing, you can still hear background hum or fuzz, like a light stat. It's never just like that, unless it's AI. Bearing in mind, she is not wearing a microphone anywhere. She's using her phone to film, so that's the phone's audio. And she was, in the beginning, she's out by a public road. There's no background noise at all.
Most popular foundations look terrible on black skin over 35, and they emphasize texture, don't cover uneven tone, and settle.
Also, something you may want to consider is what's going on in the background. So she is talking about this brand here, which is called Luxe, and it's a foundation. However, correct me if I'm wrong, but something a brand like Too Faced, whose name we can see in the background here, are not going to make a stand that also caters to NARS and then put Too Faced behind it, right? Also, Fenty, as it says here, are also not going to make a stand where they can slip in some double wear right next to it. You can see that this writing here is gone. It almost wants to say double wear, it's double something, but there's a NARS and then Huda Beauty right next to it and NARS here. Like, everything in the background looks real, but it's just slightly off. And also you can look at the displays. There are multiple displays. If this is one Sephora store, there are multiple different displays for NARS, Fenty, Huda. They are everywhere. Also, what's this? What's this product? An upside down brush? These brushes don't even have a top to them. Going back to this, right? They all end with the same foundation. This Luxe foundation, which you may have seen if you have been on TikTok or whatever in some capacity. Every single video goes through all these foundations, which in my mind are actually best sellers, whether you like them or not, they're best sellers. But they all have an issue. They all end with Luxe being the best one.
Luxe Foundation. This is the one. Light to medium buildable coverage that evens out skin tone and smooths hyperpigmentation without looking heavy. Luxe Foundation. This is a much better option for mature black skin. Luxe Foundation. This is the perfect foundation for combination mature skin. Light to medium buildable coverage that adapts to different zones on your face.
So this is a color changing foundation. One of those foundations that's basically a cream and it has little balls and you rub it and the colour disperses. The balls of pigment. And she's talking about colour changing foundation. She obviously says it in this clip. And you can see here in the background, AI struggling to make sense of words. Lattery makeup, colour changing foundation. EO clog. Like what does any of this mean? So I thought that was so interesting because looking through it, to me, it's obviously a fake ad trying to sell this Luxe foundation because every single video leads to the Luxe being perfect. 10 out of 10, a million out of 10. So, and then it leads to a sales link on the actual page itself. However, there are people in the comments here. Someone says, what about Selena Gomez? Someone says Fenty Pro Filter. Someone says, is this the same foundation that says Luxe Color Changing Foundation? That is what I see when I look it up. I would love to try it as I want something skin-like that lasts without breaking up and making me look older. Let me know, sis. Thanks. I was like, thank you, very helpful. Can you do Mac Studio Fix next? They're very interested in what this person has to say. Someone says, Queen, can you post a good concealer for mature black skin? Full coverage, please. Thank you. So people are genuinely, someone says, what about Mary Kay? That's a pyramid scheme. So people are genuinely trusting this person, thinking they are real. This person says, Luxe, I will try. I am dark and have problem finding anything to match. So I don't wear anything, but I want to. And this brings me to something quite specific within the makeup industry, and having been a makeup artist for a long time, something you see a lot of the time, not so much as much now because brands do extend their shade ranges, not enough in my opinion, but they do, is trying to find a perfect shade of foundation for very deep skin tones or deeper skin tones, and also very fair skin tones and olive skin tones. They are quite difficult to find shades for. And when you find that one brand that caters to that skin tone and does it well, more than likely, people with those skin tones will go back to that brand and purchase often because that's it. They found it. It works. If anybody has experimented more with trying to find their shade, it's people with deeper skin tones and extremely fair skin tones, right? So finding someone online who, as this AI person says, is a makeup artist who goes in and compares and knows her stuff is good. So if somebody's recommending this Luxe foundation, more than likely they're going to want to buy it. The link in their website leads to Amazon, and it shows us this Luxe color changing foundation for women Instantly adapts to your skin tone, buildable, light to medium coverage, 12-hour wear. You always know something is a bit of a scam when the description says for women and it's makeup. It's always a bit of a scam. On the packaging, you will notice it says for light to medium skin tones. And you may think, okay, that's just the shade. But when we actually look at the shade range and the images that come with the shade range that claim it's a perfect shade match, you see no black people. The shade range is light, medium, medium dark. But again, there's no swatches, nothing like that. Even the images of their models are AI. Their doctor is AI, you know? And then I thought about it, I was like, this is kind of terrible. They are aiming this content at black women and saying this is the best foundation for you and your mature skin. Yet the brand itself actually does not cater to anyone darker than a tanned version of me. This is another one I found online. This is a completely different profile.
Exposing the worst foundations for mature skin I'll never touch again, and why, after 20 years of working in...
See this picture? I want you to remember this picture. I want you to remember the studio in the background. Perhaps we can compare it to our first picture from our first makeup artist.
NARS is a big disappointment for me. It has a very limited shade range. Personally, I'd need something in between Zambia and Namibia. Also, instead of smoothing the skin, it sits on top, oxidizes, and makes the complexion look tired and older. Estee Lauder Double Wear, 9 out of 10.
Personally, I love the brand Zadoka Nolati Svog.
Coverage is amazing and it lasts literally all day without breaking apart. It also controls shine really well and looks flawless in photos. That said, it's pretty heavy, so it's definitely not an everyday foundation. Fenty Beauty feels too heavy, settles into fine lines, and makes my skin look more textured and tired instead of smoothing it. You should avoid it. Luxe Cosmetics beautifully blurs wrinkles and pores because it's specifically developed for mature skin. It's also lightweight and leaves the skin looking smooth all day. Another great benefit is that it automatically adjusts to your skin tone. You only have to choose from 4 options: light, medium, medium dark, and dark. For now, it's not available in every Sephora, but I still prefer buying it on Amazon. It's much cheaper there.
Just before we touch on something that the AI person said in that video, I just want to show you this picture that I got from the official website of Luxe Cosmetics. This is the darker shade of the color changing foundation. That's described as being for fair to medium skin tones. This is their color changing foundation. Again, touching on what she said there, it's always out of stock at Sephora, or it's currently out of stock at Sephora. They always go into Ulta and Sephora and pick up the Luxe and are like, this is it. They don't sell that shit. They don't sell that crappy shit from Amazon. This is well and truly a brand that have just come out of nowhere. It's a low quality product. And I mean, if you are like a medium to a light to medium skin tone, something like this might work for you if you want a subtle tint. It's bad quality. Anyway, so I made this comment on the original profile I showed you. I said, hello, can you explain a few things? The foundation is never available in Ulta or Sephora, so why do you keep going to these stores? Is it to make the foundation seem like it's better than just a random foundation only available on Amazon? Also, what would an AI makeup artist know about makeup? And I put a heart there just to sweeten it up. Then trying to go back to this profile to gather some more evidence, I realized that I was blocked. So I got my friend to put in the name and she could find it on hers. So they did block me for pointing out all the grievances and mistakes here. So remember I was telling you about that picture, right? Take a look at these videos. It all starts off with a person saying, I'm a makeup artist and this and this, and then they all have the same image of them doing someone's makeup in the same studio.
If you're over 40 and you wear makeup, listen closely, because some foundations can actually age you, while others can make you look 10 years younger. I've tested a lot of foundations on real clients as a professional makeup artist. Avoid these foundations if you're over 40. After 18 years in makeup, I'm done watching women waste money on formulas that make them look 10 years older.
If you're over 45 and still use these foundations, I already know your makeup looks dry and heavy. After 18 years in makeup, I can tell you exactly which ones age you instantly and which ones make you look 10 years younger.
Foundations that help hide wrinkles after 40 and the ones that actually make them more noticeable. As a makeup artist, I've tested a lot of foundations on clients over 40, and the biggest problem usually isn't coverage. It's how the formula sits on texture over time.
It's all just complete bullshit. I went onto their website and I did notice that there's almost like an affiliate thing going on with them. So I did contact them through the email that was on the website, and this is what I said. I basically asked them, I said, well, I'm looking for a foundation that I can't find on your website, which is the one that's featured heavily throughout the TikTok videos. But I found it on your Amazon page. Can I just confirm this is your official Amazon page? They said they'll get back to me within this time and not to email them again because it will push my ticket to the back of the queue. And I have not heard back from them once. I also did find another website, and it was like Luxe Labs or something, where they put up this About Us section, and it was all about how their mission was to accommodate to Black women with their foundations. Yet on that website, this is their foundation range. So we have two websites here that both kind of do look official, but are giving two different kind of energies. You can sell their makeup and get an affiliation with them. But then I was like, okay, affiliate links are usually done through a special platform. There's Awin, Shopify, Shop My Shelf, Impact. They are all websites that brands go to say, we set up an affiliate link, and then you go through them, basically. That's really hard to... The brand doesn't deal with the affiliation links. So you go onto these websites, you put in the website that you get invited to be an affiliate through these websites for the brand themselves, and then it's all done through these websites. So I do wonder if they have their own thing going on. But if you're an affiliate with them, the affiliation is going to come through their website or through a third party. And I was thinking, these people are linking back to Amazon. They must be Amazon affiliates, which is completely different to what they're saying on their website to be an affiliate with them, unless that's the way they do it. So then in my mind, I'm like, giving either option, the brand are making these AI videos to link to their official Amazon. If they come back and say, yes, this is our Amazon page, because, you know, or these are affiliates making these videos to then link to the Amazon page. It's all very confusing. So just ending that, I also just wanted to show you these because these were absolutely hilarious. I commented on this page and I said, this is the worst advert for any product I've ever seen in my life. I feel like you can do stuff like that on TikTok. This was from the page Aero Feather, who don't even have a display picture, but they are a shop. Please take a look at this lip liner ad. The skin's moving like it has worms. The lip liner is being applied to the middle of the lip, and then this is the result. And they are trying to sell this product. They have put this out and been like, yes, this is absolutely fine. All of this is fine. Look. Horrible, horrible, horrible low quality stuff. And when this is AI, it's like you're not... She's coming to a point like that. You're not getting a true representation of what this looks like on a person. Look at this. Who applies their lipstick like that? It's not even touching the mouth. Who does that? This is so... Yeah, I'm just going to pop this lipstick in my bag with no lid on. Honestly, the worst shit I think I've ever seen, ever. Like, what is going on? Listen, I can't deal. One thing I have also noticed that a lot of brands are doing now is the whole K-beauty movement or fake K-beauty movement. You might remember, the video on screen now from a previous reaction video where I was basically like, this is all AI, don't listen to this. And I didn't realize it was connected to this Luxe brand until I was looking into this video, where the lady in the video was talking about how she used to work for Korean makeup brands, and basically she's bought these ingredients and this Korean made formula over to this brand Luxe, and like she is the founder of Luxe, right? Now in this other video, this is a person rating Korean foundations on a scale of 1 to 10, and she talks about some amazing foundations from Hera, Clio, Laneige, and then they also mention Luxe. Luxe is not a Korean foundation. And also, this Korean foundation that also caters for Black women. Now listen, we know there are brands out there, K-beauty brands, that are catering for deeper skin tones. Tier, Parnell, Milk Touch, Espoir, the list goes on, but that isn't the case with a lot of other brands, right? I just have to add as well, we have not seen one person with a skin tone deeper than like a medium dark in any office advertising, both for websites, don't have a single black person on there. Not even somebody with a skin tone that's deeper than a medium dark, you know, in an average foundation range. Only people we have seen with a deeper skin tone who is recommending this foundation are those two AI makeup artists in Sephora and Ulta. Not a single person with a deeper skin tone is seen throughout any office advertising. If you were a Korean brand and you were catering to deeper skin tones, that is an incredible thing to advertise. So why are we not seeing one single person? So on one hand, people are saying that this Luxe brand caters for black women and is great for black women. And on the other hand, we have this other person saying, no, this is a Korean brand foundation. We've seen the shade range. And it does not go as dark as needed to have a full range of shades for everyone. So that's an extra added layer to this scam. If you ever see something like this online and you can't tell if it's real, I always say, please do 3 or 4 levels deep of extra research. Click a link that's safe. Go to a website, Google it, just do something so you don't fall into these traps, because I do not want this to become commonplace within the makeup industry. People need to know that this shit isn't going to work on everyone. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know your opinions down below. Have you ever fallen for something like this? Do you use Luxe? Let me know, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.